Hello, happy campers. How y'all doing? Spike,
Chris,
and we are geeking out. And we, after a 3-week absence, we have decided we are going to withdraw our bid to take over Twitter. Sorry, Twitter board of twits. We are not interested anymore. How you doing, Chris?
I'm okay.
Been a little while since we've been
Yes.
here. It's the ninja variant of COVID has come and visited the Who What Where studios and knocked pretty much not the two of us, but me and the beloved on our butts for a couple of weeks. So
Yes, the ninja. Is, in other words, it's a code.
yeah,
It's a code.
it's a flu.
Out of season
Yes, it's the flu.
code. Yeah,
This one,
flu. Whatever.
and I guess they've just given up on trying to take this seriously. So now they're just trolling everybody by calling it the Ninja Edition or something. I don't know. All I know is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is now trending worldwide again because of this. So.
As they should. Anyways.
As they should. Anyway. So, it's been a long 2 weeks. It's been, well, roughly 3 weeks. We actually recorded episode 192, and I've declined to post it because I didn't really care for what I was hearing on it. So, we basically just took the alphabet mafia, the GQBLT types, and just tossed them into the sea where they belong. So, little too salty, a little too fiery. Might wind up putting it out as an extra edition just as an audio podcast because it's not going to stay on YouTube more than 5 minutes. I guarantee that. Nor on Facebook, and apparently not on Twitter because Elon Musk withdrawing his $44 billion offer because he says they won't. The board of directors would not give him the information they have about the number of bots and fake accounts they have online. They're saying it's under 5%, but if you run the numbers, there's no way in the world 95% of all the Twitter accounts are real. No way in the world if you run. Actually, if you look at the population of the United States and compare that to the number that are actively participating and stuff, because I think the count I saw is that 1 out of 50 Twitter users actually tweet. So I'm one of the precious few, apparently, one of the 2%. So that's why Elon is balking at this. He still says it's about 20, and there are people claiming 50, which I think is probably actually closer to the. I think the actual number is somewhere between 20 and 50. But, oh well. Not that that has anything to do with the price of viral labs in China. But anyway. Thor Love and Thunder came out this weekend, and I don't care. That's my review of Thor Love and Thunder. It's going to be one of those movies I'm just not going to review because I don't want to see it. I mean, for crying out loud, you've got Jane Foster's going to be Thor. You've got Chris Hemsworth is going to be Thor. You have Kang Valkyrie who's going to be Thor. You've got like some horse-faced guy in the Nebula Galaxy who is Thor at one point. Captain America was Thor at one point. I was Thor at one point. And let's not even get into what if Miles Morales was Thor. Because that's a whole other can of worms there.
I was sore at one point. Sorry.
You're going to be sore. There. Takes care of you now. But anyway, the beloved and I were going to go watch ELVIS, but we like I said, we both came down. We got all ninja'd and stuff, so we haven't been able to go anywhere or do anything. But on the other hand, this goofball over here to my left, because there's nobody to my right, this goofball to my left actually saw ELVIS. Tell me, Chris, let's do this. Let's do it right. Take care of business. Shazam! Give us the ELVIS review.
The Elvis review.
Elvis review.
Thank you very much. How was that?
Okay, in related news, Larry Storch is dead at the age of 99. I didn't know he was still alive. But anyway, speaking of things that are dead, Elvis. And your sense of humor. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let's still go?
Go ahead.
Okay. I didn't know if it was... Just I didn't know with the...
We freaked Chris out
well,
because we actually, as you can probably tell, we record this on a smartphone because we still can't find a halfway decent microphone to record on. So, well, it's fine. Go ahead, Chris. It's working.
So Elvis, Elvis was, of course, it's basically a documentary about what's the name, what's his name?
Colonel Parker.
Colonel Parker, played by Tom Hanks, and it's told from his point of view, kind of how Elvis's life was, sort of. First of all, I just want to say, Tom Hanks gave a very, very good performance. Austin Butler, who plays Elvis, gave a really good performance. The movie itself, it took a while to get there. For me, it was the first time I actually wanted to walk out of a movie, because if you know what recaps are, it's literally just, a quick retell of what was going on and what people already know. And that's what they did with Elvis, is that they did a huge recap, except this recap lasted 30 minutes long. It was running it through, showing him growing up, doing all this stuff, also doing the same thing with Colonel and how, who Colonel is, doing all this rehashing of everything that you already know. Took 30 minutes to do. I wanted to walk out of there because I was like, is this the whole movie? Because if this is the way the whole movie is going to be, I'm out. But finally it slowed down and actually started telling a good story.
Mm-hmm.
So, also, I will point this out, and I'm surprised that there is no warning in the movie, or warning people. But if you have issues like what's that thing called where flashlights will cause you
to seize up? Yeah. Now you got me on the spot. Now I got to think of the name of it. It's epilepsy.
Yeah. Okay. So if you got that, this movie is probably not for you. Because the whole 30 minutes, it was flashing through everybody's life like that. And it was literally it was making my eyes hurt. It was so flashy. And it did that for the longest time. So yeah. But there is so many, it was telling a really good story. I will have to say, there was certain things in this movie that I did not like the first 30 minutes. The music of Elvis, for some reason, they would not, unlike a Bahama Rhapsody where you actually got to hear the music. It was like he would start the song and then they would do a remix version. I was like, what? I want to hear Elvis sing, not him start it off and then it's dun, 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 all that stuff, just putting some rap in there as well, and R&B and things like that. And I was like, what are you guys doing? So you really didn't get to hear Elvis actually sing until maybe, I think he did it twice, and that was it. There's a lot of really cool scenes. There's a lot of cool acting in this movie. It was really well told, but the editing, I think, is what got me more than anything as well. There's also, okay, I'm nitpicking. I'm nitpicking on this,
No.
but there is an issue. Every time in a movie or TV show, the smallest thing really upsets me. Okay? And this one scene, it makes me want to punch somebody. Okay? This one scene is where Elvis is like telling his mom, what he's going to be doing, and his mom gets upset and starts yelling at him. And right behind him, right in front of these people, is the dinner table, and his dad, and I guess it's his little sister. I don't know who she is, honestly, but she's sitting there at the table, and they're fighting. Elvis's mom walks away, and he's just sitting there taking a breath, and then all of a sudden the girl at the table says, "Elvis, Mama is upset." Like, yeah, we just saw it all happen. Of course she's upset. Like, I don't understand why she had to point that out at all. Like, I don't know why. Like, it's almost like, oh, okay, I will put you in this movie and I'll give you one speaking role. It's like they did this person a favor by doing that. And that's what it felt like, because it was like, we just saw this whole thing happen. Why are you just like, Elvis, Mama's upset? Like, no, duh. And then there's a really cringy thing with the women getting all hot and bothered when he started to swing his hips.
Oh, is that when the panties start flying?
Yep. And it was really cringy. It was like, oh, okay, dial it back a little bit. But other than that, the movie was good. There was just some scenes that you have to get through. But when it gets to the real story, and it's literally the story of selling your soul to the devil and being trapped in that contract is pretty much what the movie is. Because the Colonel was pretty much the devil in this whole story. It will confuse you at some points at the beginning, but then you'll start to understand, like, oh, this is the type of story they're trying to tell, because it is told by Colonel himself telling the story, but he's in some type of limbo of between life and death. I guess, is how he's trying to tell this story. So it's really confusing until you get it, and then you're like, oh, okay, I got you. But yeah.
So, on a scale of 1 to 5, Chris, with 5 being paying for the Saturday night matinee with the date, and 1 being maybe if you're stealing it from your neighbor's account, Netflix account or something, where would you put Elvis on the scale of 1 to 5?
If you're a fan of Elvis, then this movie is for you.
Hold on. If you're a fan of Elvis, you're still watching Lilo and Stitch. So.
Oh man, Lilo and Stitch was.
They did. I think they may have done Elvis better than this one.
Honestly, I would have to say so too. I would give it. What was 3?
Well, 5 is Main Street, is Saturday night matinee. 4 is the afternoon matinee. 3 is you would probably wait for it to come out in Blu-ray or DVD, and 2 would be watching it, getting a Netflix subscription for it, and 1 would be waiting for it to show up on Pluto TV.
If you're an Elvis fan, I would say 5. But if you're like,
there's like 7 of you still alive.
If you're like, I'll get to it, but I really do want to see it, then I'll say a 4.
So you would say the afternoon matinee.
Yeah.
It's worth actually paying for a movie ticket for it. Okay, I'm going to ask a quick question. You're more on this than I am. Who in the heck is Baz Luhrmann?
Baz Luhrmann?
He's the guy who produced this Elvis movie. He directed this Elvis movie. He wrote this Elvis movie, and he made sure that his name was all over this.
Yeah. Okay, so the only reason why he's famous is because one of the biggest movies he's ever done, which is a movie that I will have to say is the most stupidest movie I've ever seen, but it's also considered a classic, and that is the retelling of Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio, and where everybody was like, hip.
Is that all he's got? Well, he does a lot of musical stuff. I can see. I'm looking at his Wikipedia page now. I honestly don't know
Moulin
who the heck
Rouge,
this
I
fool
think
is.
I think he also
did,
did Moulin Rouge.
did Moulin Rouge, Strictly Ballroom. He did The Great Gatsby in 2013, and The Get Down for Netflix, and shit.
His name's all over it because I think if you're a musical lover, you will like his work. Pretty much. And there's not many people out there that does that. So
That would explain why I don't know who he is and don't care, because I despise musicals. So